Okay, ladies and gentlemen, no stranger to this stage. Give it up for Michelle Fecteau. Let's hear it.
Yeah, kind of. Damn, I didn't want to go after her. Anyway. So it was 2006, October 31, and I was doing what I'd done for the last 15 years in my Northwest Detroit home. I'd buy about $100 worth of candy, get the best deals I could, get box of raisins, like $20 worth of box of raisins for the full-grown adults that had the nerve to come to my house. And it's fun. And I would dress up in this old long black dress, put lots of fake blood on my hands, and a gray wig and a witch hat. And I'd sit on the front porch because our neighborhood would get packed with kids. We had tons of kids that would come in. People would come in from all over. You could hardly drive through the neighborhood. And but I love this holiday. I love just rewarding kids for being kids and giving candy and seeing them come every year, getting a little bit older, seeing them bring their kids when they got older. And my house was filled with kids. At that period of time, we had about 8 kids living with us. And, you know, as some of my friends here know, my husband and I, Eddie and I, are foster parents, adoptive parents, and we also tended to take in kids who needed a place to stay that were homeless. So we had a lot of kids, and some of our neighbors were a little suspicious about it. We were told by one of my cop friends that we were actually on a police watch list because some of the kids were not always they came from not very functional families, some of them, and some of them had trouble in school and with the law. And but I knew these kids, and I loved them, and one of them in particular was highlighted in that one year. That was Andre. Now, Andre was somebody I'd seen grow up. He was in a foster home down the street, but he gravitated, like all the other kids in the 5-mile radius, to my house. We had a basketball hoop, and that was a big attraction. We had a lot of cute kids, girls and boys, and that attracted a lot. But Andre was somebody I'd seen grow up. He was easy to laugh. He was easygoing, beautiful smile. And he would talk to me. He was more open than a lot of kids. He told me that when he was 8 years old, he was taken into foster care and separated from his younger brothers and sisters and had never seen them again. And he showed me pictures of them, and he told me how much he missed them. And he was somebody who was incredibly wonderful with the other children in our house, the younger kids. He was very protective, good spirit. He's a good person, and I loved having him around because he was just a really good influence. Well, he was there with me on Halloween, handing out candy, because my husband was working late, and we were home with Sammy, who's our son with autism, and he was helping me. And I told him, you know, it's 8 o'clock, why don't you enjoy the rest of the evening? And there was a friend of ours that we knew, I trusted, and I respected, and he went to go to their house. Now, Andre had started living with us because when he was 13, he was adopted. But the adoption did not go well. His father was a returning veteran from the war, and it seemed to me he had PTSD. He would lock Andre out of the house if he didn't come home by 7. He didn't let him eat with the rest of the family, and he constantly told him that he was worthless and no good. And so I could see him becoming more and more depressed. He started to come over our house more and more to sleep when he was locked out. And I thought he was going to run away. And I told him, why don't you just live with us for a while? And he was ecstatic. But when I told his father, look, just for a while until things get straightened out, the father said, I'm done. He's no good. I never want to see him for the rest of my life. And he dropped by a couple of garbage bags full of clothes, and he kept his promise. He never saw Andre again. So Andre was living with us, and we appreciated and loved him. But he went out that Halloween night to his friends, and about a few minutes later, I get a call from Eddie telling me, I got a call from Terrell, our son Terrell, that Andre's been arrested. I was like, what? He just left. And so I called Terrell. Terrell, what's going on? What did you guys do? Nothing. We weren't doing anything. I said, are you sure? He says, honest, Mom, we weren't doing anything. The cops called out, and we all ran because they're smart. But Andre walked to the cops. He had been a police cadet, and he trusted that he wasn't doing anything wrong. Well, the cops slammed him up against the car, frisked him, took his ID, threw it in the gutter, put him in the back of the car, drove around for a half an hour till it was past a curfew, and then took him to the Northwest Precinct. Now, I called the Northwest Precinct, and they said, yeah, he's here. You can come pick him up. So I'm like frantic. So I washed the blood off my hands, of course. And I'm going through the neighborhood at about 10 miles an hour because it's so filled with kids. And I get there, and I go to the front desk, and I say, I'm here to pick up Andre. And they say, who are you to him? And I was like, I'm his aunt. And they're like, because, you know, even though Andre's like 6 foot, tall black young man, and I'm me, I can get away with that. I said he lives with me. So so he goes in the back room, and I wait, and I see Andre's picture getting an award in the police station. The cop comes back. I said, did you see his picture over there? He's a good kid. He's getting an award for being a police cadet. I said, what is he here for? He said, curfew violation. I said, he's 18. He goes, oh. He goes back. Wait, and he comes and he gets me, he goes, well, you can go get him, but you're gonna get a citation. He's gonna get a citation. I'm like, what? I wanna see the commanding officer. I go in the back, I see Andre, I'm looking for the commanding officer. Andre is in his fuzzy green hat and boa, looking sad as can be. He's looking upset, he's looking disappointed, because here it is, someone he trusted and respected is now telling him again he is no good, he's worthless. And I'm really pissed. So I go to the commanding officer and I say, why are you giving him a citation? Why did you do this? She said, aiding and abetting a curfew violation. I said, what? Aiding and abetting a curfew violation? This is Halloween. Everybody's aiding and abetting a curfew violation. This is ridiculous. We take him home. I go to court. It's all dropped. But the damage that was done to that young man, he started eventually hanging out with the wrong kids. He got a couple of felonies, nonviolent felonies, but now it is 13 years later, and he is still struggling. I can tell you he's still persevering. He's still staying strong. We still tell him we love him. But things are tough out there. And that's what's the scariest thing that I learned at Halloween, that people fear, the people's fear of these young black men is destroying them. It is destroying them, and we have to look at ourselves, and we have to stop, and we have to hold them up, learn who they are, and help them be everything that they should be. Thank you.